Welcome to Nmmi Live on YouTube. I'm Brigadier General Boris McBurnett, President and Superintendent of New Mexico Military Institute. This year is especially significant as Nmmi celebrates 135 years of service to New Mexico. Since its doors opened in 1891, the Institute has remained steadfast in its mission of developing leaders of character through grounded tradition in duty, honor, and achievement. Generations of cadets have been challenged to excel academically, physically, and morally while preparing themselves for success in college, military service, and professional careers around the world. As we reflect on those 135 years, the Institute continues to evolve and innovate while remaining true to its values and traditions. During today's live event, I encourage you to engage with us by submitting questions and sharing your comments in the chat. We look forward to hearing from you and providing insights into the many opportunities, accomplishments, and exciting developments taking place at New Mexico Military Institute. Thank you for joining us. Now, let's get started.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to New Mexico Military Institute's Back to School YouTube Live questions and answers for incoming students, families, and cadets. As Nmmi marks its 135th anniversary, we're proud to welcome the next class of cadets into a long tradition of duty, honor, and achievement. I'm Colonel Christina Stark, Global Enrollment and Marketing Director at Nmmi, and it is my pleasure to host tonight's discussion. We know this is an important transition for every cadet and every family. The goal tonight is to give you clear, practical information so you know what to expect before you arrive and how to start strong once you're here. Joining me tonight, we have key Nmmi leaders who will help guide our cadets academically, physically, personally, and as members of the Corps Cadets. So tonight's sessions is interactive. Please submit your questions in the YouTube live chat or post on social media using hashtag AskNMMI. Our team will monitor questions throughout the broadcast and answer as many as possible live. In case you don't have any of your answers or some of your answers, your questions answered, please submit your questions to admissions@nmmi.edu. We'll cover tonight matriculation dates, arrival logistics, what to bring, what not to bring, grad weeks, daily life, academics, support resources, athletics, and what families can do to support cadets during their first months at Nmmi. So let's get started. I will ask each panelist to briefly introduce themselves. So let's begin. Colonel West, would you please introduce yourself?
Thank you, Colonel Stark. Yes, good evening and welcome to Nmmi. My name is Colonel David West. I am the Chief of Staff. I've been with the New Mexico Military Institute and now my 21st year. We're really excited to have you and your families as part of the Nmmi family.
Colonel Barone, would you please introduce yourself? Thank you, Colonel Stark.
Good evening. My name is Colonel Jose Barron. I am the Director of Athletics. I am in my 23rd year at Nmmi and look forward to welcoming everybody to Nmmi.
Thank you, sir. Lieutenant Colonel Hudby, would you please introduce yourself?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Art Hudby. I'm the Deputy Commandant for Operations as well as the Interim Commandant. Happy to welcome everybody here, and I'm looking forward to answering your questions.
Thank you, sir. Major Bertha Gomez, would you please introduce yourself?
Yes, hi. Good evening. My name is Bertha Gomez. I am one of the high school academic counselors, and I look forward to meeting all of you and working with your cadets.
Thank you. Miss Monica Renteria, would you please introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you for joining us. My name is Monica Renteria. I am one of the global enrollment counselors here at Nmmi. I've been here for a while, and thank you guys so much. We're excited to see you guys.
Thank you. So, Colonel West, why don't we go over the key dates and share some information, important information with the families?
Yes, thank you, Colonel Stark. We're excited to have you. There are certain dates, obviously, we're focused on, and ask you to monitor these dates. They'll be here. Back to the YouTube, you can come back. Just note the calendar is listed up here. July of this year, on the 15th, which is actually tomorrow, our senior cadre return and begin training. Service Academy preps on the 20th. High school and international matriculation will be on the 27th, and junior college matriculation on the 28th, followed by old cadets who return on August 1st, and the very first day of academic classes on August 2nd, or August 6th, sorry. So yes, monitor those dates, keep those in mind. If you need to come back, certainly the YouTube's up. Colonel Stark, those are kind of the key first dates.
Thank you very much, sir. One thing that I would like to remind the families is that once your cadet matriculate, he or she cannot leave campus. So all their belongings should be with them, including academic supplies and everything else. So we're very excited to welcome you to this very special year here at NMMI. So let's start with Ms. So I will have some questions here for you. If you could please let us know, what enrollment paperwork must families complete before they arrive?
Yes, so before arriving, NMMI families should complete and submit all required enrollment paperwork, including the NMMI physical. Your enrollment counselor should have emailed it to you, or the New Mexico Athletic Association packet if your student plans to participate in sports here at NMMI. We also ask that you send over medical documents such as immunization records, copy of insurance card, front and back, and then your final transcripts. In addition to those documents, we also ask family to go online and complete the Commandant Parent Packet. It is rather lengthy, and so we do ask that it be completed beforehand, just to kind of help matriculation with a little bit smoother process.
Thank you. So Monica, what are the most common pre-arrival issues we have had in the past? Families are getting everybody so excited about everything. How can families avoid them?
Yeah, so just kind of helping you guys out and making it a smooth transition, especially such a busy day. We ask that you reach out to your enrollment counselors for any missing paperwork. Again, the medical documents are pretty important to make sure you get them submitted beforehand, final transcripts, and then make sure that you're handling the medication and prescriptions in a separate bag. Don't pack them with your suitcase. Put them in a Ziploc bag. Carry them with you during matriculation. You'll meet with our infirmary staff, and they'll go through those prescriptions and they'll get them signed in. And then just making sure that you're preparing for the full day and the weather. New Mexico weather is pretty dry and hot. Make sure you're wearing comfortable clothing, supportive walking shoes. Bring a refillable water bottle, stay hydrated throughout the day, and just make sure that your child eats something before coming in. It's super important. It's going to be a long day for them.
Thank you very much. I see several international families here on our chat that are joining us tonight. So how does NMMI support international cadets and families in case they need any information in regards to travel, airport pickup? Could you share with us, please?
Yes. So we have a really great support staff here in Global Enrollment. And one of our support staff is Mireya Tarin. She's our student support specialist. She works throughout the year, and she helps you with your travel and your visa process. Many of you have already spoken with her. She's been reaching out to families to collect the travel date and time and flight information. And so if you haven't already started talking to her, please reach out to her. She's been reaching out via phone and email. So as long as you're traveling individually, please make sure she has that information. If you're traveling with the group, that's okay. She should have that information, but especially if you're by yourself, she wants to make sure that we have that pickup information.
Thank you very much. Lieutenant Colonel Hutby. So we're approaching a very important day to all of us, a new day, matriculation. Everybody's excited about it. So what should our new accepted cadets, our RATs, prepare for matriculation day?
They're going to have to prepare for a very long, arduous day. It is going to be a lot of standing in line, a lot of hurry up and wait as they go through the gauntlet of getting everything issued to them, their rooms assigned. It is going to be a lot of information thrown to your cadets in a very short time period, and be prepared to maintain a positive attitude as they're introduced to a military type lifestyle and our environment.
Okay. So what should families know about the arrival date regarding logistics and luggage drop-off, sir?
Now, this year we're doing something a little bit differently. We tried to streamline the matriculation process. So it's going to go, hopefully it'll go much quicker. You're going to see your cadets standing in line. They're going to drop off their luggage, and their luggage is going to be tagged and staged at the Godfrey Athletic Center. The cadets will go in and begin going through their lines and going through their matriculation process. We're going to ask the families that are dropping off to go ahead and park their vehicles and then catch up inside the Godfrey Athletic Center with their cadets. Myself, my staff will be in the center to be able to answer questions and do a brief orientation on what's going on and what to expect for the day. However, after the cadets make it through the lines in the Godfrey Athletic Center, there'll be an opportunity for the families to say their farewells to their cadets, and then their cadets will leave the Godfrey Center with all the and continue through the matriculation process through uniform issue, ID uniform issue, computer issue, ID cards, going in and setting up their rooms. So we're going to ask the families to go ahead and say their goodbyes as the cadets transition from the administrative part of the matriculation process into the military side of it, again, gear, uniform issue, and room setup.
Okay, thank you, sir. So can you tell us a little bit about March By?
Yeah. So we'll have a march by as the cadets are going to their first formation and their first evening meal. So about 1,700 will invite the families to return to campus. Best place to watch the march by will be at Lusk Hall, the main building with the flagpole in front of it, or right next to it, even better, is the library, and you can watch your cadets march by. Don't worry about if you recognize your cadet or not. Just clap and applaud for them all. They'll all have my haircut, and they'll all be wearing the same uniform. So it's going to be a little bit harder to identify who's who.
Okay, thank you, sir. So we are talking here, and we're saying, what is the RAT experience going to be like, or the week? So what does being a RAT at an Nmmi mean? And what should new cadets expect during the RAT weeks?
Well, first of all, I want to make sure everybody understands RAT is not a derogatory term. It is an acronym for Recruit at Training. So our RATs, or NMMI RATs, are going to be indoctrinated to, again, military life, military lifestyle, and start learning customs, courtesies, and military and NMMI traditions. So that first week is a lot of information being pushed into a very short amount of time. Your cadet's going to learn how to dress, how to wear his uniform, how to set up his room, how to march in a formation. He's going to learn Nmmi customs courtesies and or I'm sorry, the Nmmi and military customs and courtesies. So it's going to be some things that they're not going to be used to. Some cadets are learning to say sir or ma'am for the very first time. Some of them are wearing shoes for the first time. So there's going to be the learning curve is going to be a little bit different for everybody. But again, I'll emphasize everybody's going to maintain a positive attitude. Your cadet at all times will be treated with fairness, dignity, and respect. That's an emphasis on our cadets, our cadet cadre, and supervised by our TLA, our Troop Leadership Advisor supervision.
Yeah. So, sir, what is their daily routine like?
Their daily routine is going to be waking up early at 06. There'll be a morning formation and a brief inspection to make sure everybody's accounted for. Then they will march to march to breakfast, following where they'll sit together as a troop. That's going to be their brand new best friends. After breakfast, we'll begin training, and again, it'll be in those categories of military training, customs courtesies, drill, and then we'll also have an introduction to our leadership and character development program, which fosters cadets to begin focusing on how to govern and lead themselves, starting off with really digging deep and identifying what their values are. So it's a combination of classroom material, but a lot more of outdoor learning and experiences where they'll be going through with their troop, with their platoon, through some a lot of team building and leadership exercises.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, Lieutenant Colonel Hugby, I'm sure that for many of our incoming students, this might be a little different. So, what can parents or families do to help the RAT adjust during the first few weeks?
Yeah. First of all, your cadet is going to be really busy, and they may or may not be carrying their cell phone with them. We don't take their cell phones away from them. We have them keep their cell phones in their rooms. They're going to have a very long day. So if you want to talk to your cadet, you're going to have to wait till the evening hours. I'm going to ask you not keep your cadet up late because they're going to have some very long days, and they're going to need their rest and they're going to need their sleep. They'll have an email account, and of course, we don't take away their cell phones, so you can text and communicate with them at any time. When you communicate to them, please be encouraging. It is going to be an experience for them. Some of them are going to have some adjustment issues, but encourage them to stick with it because it's hard. It's difficult because it's worth it. At the end of the day, there's a lot of maturing to go through. They're going to be a little bit anxious, but being encouraging and help them maintain a positive attitude.
Okay, so we've had several questions here regarding what cadets can bring and what should they not bring. Could you tell us a little bit about that, Lieutenant Colonel Hugby?
Yeah, yes, sir. Everybody should have received the packing list. The packing list is also online. I would make sure you have everything on that packing list, but also understand that your cadet is in a small 10 by 12 room with a lot of bulky furniture and another cadet. So please avoid bringing any large items and large items. The rest should not have appliances, furniture, flat screen TVs. These are things that I've seen cadets bring. Of course, I'm going to have to say it because it's been done before. Please, no drugs, alcohol, or tobacco products. Please don't bring bulky or very expensive items, whether they are expensive monetarily or they have significant personal value to them. The cadets do have an opportunity to secure all of their stuff, but they're better off living more of an austere life until they get a better feel of how cadet life is. Your cadets are going to be in uniform 7 days a week for the first 30 days, and even when they are allowed to leave campus, they will leave campus in uniform at the parents' weekend. There are limited opportunities for cadets that are involved in certain activities to be able to leave campus in civilian attire. So they don't need to bring a whole lot of civilian attire. Don't forget to bring black socks. I don't know why it is, but that tends to be a common denominator. Cadets forget to bring or pack black socks, and then the first time that they're wearing uniform, we put them in the cadet uniform. They don't have socks to wear.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. I know we talk to our applicants about the Blue Book. So can you tell us, or can you tell the family, sir, what is the Blue Book and how can cadets prepare to live by it?
Okay, the Blue Book is a simple document that governs all of cadet life. It explains. We try to write it in. It explains how things are done, how cadets carry themselves, how cadets wear their uniforms, how cadets keep their rooms, and it also has the list of what we refer to as sticks that come with penalty tours, which is marching around a square for violations of our policies. The Blue Book is also a standard of code, or standards or a code of conduct on how cadets should treat each other, and also not only treat each other, but how they should be performing performing throughout their day. Every cadet will be issued a Blue Book, and they'll have plenty of opportunity to review that while they're in their rat phase.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. You mentioned TLAs. So can you tell the families who are TLAs and SLAs and how should parents connect with them?
Okay. TLA stands for Troop Leadership Advisor. High school troops have 2 TLAs assigned to each high school troop, and the college have 1 TLA assigned to every college troop. The TLAs report to the Squadron Leadership Advisors. So for every 4 troops, on the college side, we have 1 senior leadership advisor. So all 4 college TLAs report to the Squadron Leadership Advisor for college. On the high school side, we have 2 Squadron Leadership Advisors, and so we have 2 troops, and the 4 TLAs from those 4 troops report to a single TLA on the high school side. When you arrive and before you say your goodbyes to your farewells to your cadet, we will have a contact card that will have your troop leadership advisor and your squadron leadership advisor for your cadet's troop, for the parents to be able to contact their troop or contact the troop leadership advisor, squad leadership advisor of their troop. Also online, we do have the core cadets points of contacts. So please know what troop your cadet belongs to, and you can always look up who your troop leadership advisor or your squadron leadership advisors are. I've also tasked the troop leadership advisors and squadron leadership advisors to be present on matriculation day. So before your cadet marches off with their individual troop, families will have an opportunity to meet with the troop leadership advisor and confirm they have their contact information.
Thank you very much, sir. So how are roommates assigned, Lieutenant Colonel Hutley? Can you tell us about that?
Certainly. So the college roommates are assigned based off of activities. So starting with sports, cadets from like sports on the college side are roomed with cadets from like sports. Senior ROTC are roomed together, and our academy preps are roomed together. We found that this works well on the college side for cadets that have things in common, have big things in common, their classes in common, for them to start building those relationships very quickly. On the high school side, it's more randomly. However, we keep the cadets that are we keep cadets of the same age and the same class level rooming together. We try to keep our rats on the first stoop or the first floor of our dorms or of our barracks, and it works out well. The other stipulation we try to do with our high school cadets is we try to make sure international cadets are paired with non-international or domestic cadets. Other than that, it is kind of set randomly, but with the stipulation of being close and as close to age as possible and at the same class level.
Thank you, sir. I have a couple of questions here for you, Lieutenant Colonel Humphrey.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
have one here saying, can students bring electric scooters?
No.
Can students bring stuffed animals or flags?
Yes, cadets can bring some personal items, but I would seriously consider limiting what you bring until they get comfortable with what their room is. Uh, there's they will not be able to display their stuffed animals on their beds, but there is a personal locker that they can keep their personal items in. Again, understand there's limited space, and they're going to be issued a lot of gear that they're going to have specific places that they're going to have it in their rooms. I would really encourage them to understand they're going to be living kind of their first year. They're going to be living in an austere style until or at least this first semester, and then they'll get an understanding of, a better feel or understanding on the bigger things that they can have.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to remind every family here that there will be a parent briefing with Brigadier General Mac Burnett on Sunday, July 26th at 1600 at the Pearson Auditorium. So let's talk a little bit about our academics and advising. We have here with us Major Gomez. So could you please tell us what academic support is available for cadets, including tutoring, study halls, advice, and faculty support?
Yes. So on the academic side, we have several support services for our students. We have peer tutoring. We have night study hall. All RADs or all new cadets are actually placed in mandatory night study hall. So for 2 hours, they're placed in a room with an adult to help them establish study habits for those 2 hours. It goes from 7 to 9 o'clock, where they can work on homework and get help that way. We also have a math and science night study hall, where we actually have math and science faculty from 7 to 9 o'clock, Sunday through Thursday, available for students to come and get help. We have morning tutoring Monday through Friday, with the exception of Wednesday, with faculty. So if student is struggling in math or science, they can go to their instructor, get support, and get additional help. We also have independent tutors. So we have a list of tutors that have gone through our background check and they're approved to work with our students. The counselors will mail the list to the parents, and you can contact them directly to hire someone to work with your cadet individually. And then we also have academic assistance classes. So if a student has a free period somewhere and they need additional support, we counselors will add them into that class. Again, there is an adult there plus peer tutors to help support your student.
Thank you. Ma'am, there's a question here. When will cadets receive their academic schedule?
So we are finishing them. As soon as we finish, we are sending them out. The goal is to get it to the cadet and the parents before matriculation. So this is subject to change, of course. We will also, because we will be meeting with students after they matriculate, just to kind of go over schedules. We like to send it to the parents in case parents have questions or want to discuss the course that maybe they feel they would like differently. But so all of that is done prior to matriculation. Their final schedule, though, will be given to them before the first day of classes so that they know where they need to go, who their instructor is. But we will get those sent out to everyone before matriculation.
Thank you. Ma'am, parents are very anxious about their children's class and everything. So, what role should parents play in academic support without taking over the cadets' responsibility?
So the biggest role is being supportive. We want our parents to definitely encourage ownership and accountability. NMMI does want our students to develop independence and responsibility as well as leadership skills. So as a parent, we encourage you to please help us support that, help us promote the campus resources. We and as well as faculty and other staff are always um, promoting it. But as a parent, if you see your son or your daughter struggling, please encourage them to go to tutoring. Please encourage them to come see us. Also, please provide them emotional support, as Lieutenant Colonel Hopi said. The first couple weeks are going to be draining for them and different as they adjust. So helping them, encouraging them to continue and not see a setback as a downfall, but as an opportunity to learn. And also, please encourage them that high standards are important and they are capable of meeting those high standards.
Okay, so will parents be informed of their children's grades, um, their schedule? How is that shared with them?
Yes, so each academic counselor will email you that information as far as the schedules. We will email you a list of all the tutoring resources, flyers, the independent list. As far as grades, when there is a form in the registrar's office, and you will do that when they matriculate. You'll sign your some information with an email so that every Monday you will receive an email with your students' grades as well as notifications from the teachers or ourselves, providing you information as far as assignments, if your student is behaving, not behaving, or needing additional support. On that same report, you can also see a list of when they attended a tutoring service, or any of our campus resources, and that will be sent every Monday. Um, it usually comes between 12 and 2 p.m. And it won't start till I believe it's either going to be August 10th or August 17th. We will send an email just as a reminder, but if parents don't receive that, they need to contact their students' counselor so that we can make sure that we have the correct email or that everything's set up appropriately so that they can see that. Also, there 2 weeks after classes starts, your cadet will be coming to what we call a SAC seminar class, which is where they meet with the counselors once a week, and we teach study skills depending on the grade level. Or different things are taught. But within the first 2 weeks of classes, we also have your cadets send you what we call a self-service invite. What that does is it gives you access to their self-service so you can view their unofficial transcripts, you can view their financial aid, their schedule, their grades. All of that will also be sent to the parents.
Thank you. So, Major Gomez, can you share a little bit about the early warning system and how does it help cadets?
So the early warning system is an academic support program that allows our faculty, staff, to submit, to give us warnings on students that may be at risk so that we're able to identify our cadets, at-risk students earlier and provide intervention and support for them.
Thank you. Ma'am, I have questions here in regards to school supplies. Can you please share with us, with the families, what school supplies should cadets bring?
So it's usually recommended that they bring some 3-ring binders, which loose paper, notebook, pencils, pens, Calculator, it's preferably a TI-84. Tab dividers, highlighters. I would recommend that they bring a few just to kind of get started because each individual classes may have more specific items they want. There is a more compressed, sorry, more compressed note on our website, and I believe it was also just posted on a link on our chat. Um, but if for some reason there's some items that you're not able to get ahead of time, you can always purchase some of those items at Target before you drop them off or Walmart here locally. Or cadets will also have a mailbox on campus so they can order it via Amazon and get it delivered here. Or we also have our cadet store if there are some supplies that you just weren't able to get ahead of time.
Thank you very much. So one more question for you, Major Gomez. What support will cadets receive overall from the academic advisors?
So we promote mindsets and behaviors that enhance their learning process by supporting their academics, their career development, as well as their social and emotional development. Like I said before, we teach SAC seminars in which we go over concepts such as time management, study skills, organizational skills, career and college exploration, career and college planning. As they get older in their senior year, we help with college applications, financial aid, FAFSA. So we provide those kinds of services. We also help them with their courses, with scheduling. We help them navigate academic stress, academic issues. We help connect them to the right resources. And then we also refer them to our Cadet Counseling Center for emotional well-being support if that's something they need.
Thank you, ma'am. Lieutenant Colonel Hugby, I have a couple of questions here. So one of them is, do we have to bring blankets?
No, the cadets do not have to bring blankets. They'll be issued a blanket that they need. If they choose to bring their own comforter or their own blanket that they would like to sleep with, they're fine with that. They'll just have to put that in their personal locker in the morning before after when they get the room set up. So you don't have to, but you're welcome to.
So I have another question here to you, sir. Should a prep cadet bring laundry detergent when reporting?
Yeah, any supplies that they bring, understand that there's with limited space. I would recommend bringing no more than about 30 days supply of their toiletries, laundry detergent, or whatever. It'll get into our laundry service. We do allow the rats and all cadets use the self laundry service, but please understand there's only 7 right now. We only have 7 washing machines and 8 dryers to support 800 cadets. So it's a little bit tight. We really encourage cadets to use not the self laundromat, but our drop off service. Anything that the cadets have, whether it's a personal item or an issue item, can be dropped off, and will be returned in 2 working days.
Okay.
Please understand that Saturday and Sunday are not considered working days. So if they drop off a bunch of stuff on late on a Friday, they may not receive it until the following Wednesday.
Okay, sir, we have another question here. It's probably from a parent asking, are they allowed to bring their own vehicles?
Yes, cadets are allowed to bring their own vehicles. If they're bringing their own vehicle on matriculation day, what I would encourage a parent to do is ride with your cadet, park your cadet's vehicle in where we'll have parking for all the vehicles, and then after at the end of the day, after they've gone through matriculation, their room assignments, we'll have an opportunity for them to move their vehicles into cadet parking.
Thank you very much, sir. So another question for you, Lieutenant Colonel Hugby. What chapel services are available?
Okay, we'll have every Sunday we have Catholic services at 1700 or 5 p.m. And then we have a non-denominational service at 10 a.m. the If there's other denominations that want to be supported, we do have relationships with a lot of the churches and out in town, and we will also make accommodation for anyone that's practicing any religion.
Thank you, sir. I have here, I understand that we'll have Parents Weekend, August 28th through the 30th, and also the Red Cresting Challenge and Ceremony on August 29th. So can you tell us a little bit about family visitation days or events during the year, Lieutenant Colonel Hugby?
Yes, ma'am. So Parents Weekend is really a big deal for the cadets. This will be the first time your rats will be allowed to leave campus, because this will be the first opportunity to actually wear the Nmmi uniform and be integrated as a cadet and recognized as a full cadet or as a cadet in the Corps Cadets. They are still a rat. They just finished their first phase, but it is the first milestone that is a big deal for the cadets, a big deal for the Corps, a big deal, and it should be a big deal for the families to come and participate in that. Please come for the Parents Weekend. Please come for the Red Cresting Challenge. That'll consist of the cadets getting up early, doing a series of physically and mentally challenging events. You'll see them go through obstacle courses. You'll see them doing some physically challenging things. Get an opportunity to come back, put their cadet uniform on for the first time, and then be recognized by receiving their Nmmi crest, and again having accomplished their first milestone as cadets in the Corps Cadets.
Thank you very much, sir. I see here on our chat several questions regarding medication. So let's bring Colonel West to talk a little bit about our medical facilities here, medication, and all that. So, Colonel West, what infirmary coverage is available, and what happens in case of medical or personal emergencies?
Yes, Colonel Stark, I appreciate the question. First of all, make families aware the infirmary staff is headed by our medical director, who is a medical doctor, Dr. Pope, who is also the local hospital's ER doctor and chief of staff there. Dr. Pope is also an alum as well from the Institute. The other side of the house is our director of nursing, Dan McIntyre, heads up all of the nursing support elements there at the infirmary. So what is the infirmary? Well, Nmmi's Marshall Infirmary provides on-campus support for cadets with minor illnesses and injuries. It has nursing coverage around the clock, 24/7, and sick call, which is available on weekdays at 0700, so 7 a.m. Parents should understand that the infirmary is not a hospital and does not replace outside medical, dental, specialty, or emergency care. When a cadet's condition requires services beyond the infirmary scope, our medical staff may refer your cadet to the local providers or emergency services as appropriate. In an emergency, Nmmi will activate the appropriate response immediately, and then we will notify the responsible Nmmi staff and or parents or guardians consistent with the cadet's age and consistent with the status, safety needs, and applicable privacy rules. On-campus emergencies will be routed through Nmmi police or emergency services. Staff will document all incidents, actions taken, referrals made, and the parent or guardian notifications in accordance with Nmmi policy.
Thank you, sir. So how are medications stored, handled, and distributed, sir?
Yes, great question. Medications follow the Cadet Blue Book, so in accordance with our cadet standards. Infirmary procedures, provider instructions, and applicable laws also are part of that. As a best practice, all prescriptions and over-the-counter medications brought to Nmmi must be reported to the infirmary. You can do that on matriculation day. They need to be kept in their original labeled containers and reviewed by medical staff before they can be used here. Controlled substances or medications with safety concerns shall be secured and administered or monitored only through authorized procedures. I need to let you all know about foreign medications. For cadet safety and legal compliance, medications intended for routine use at Nmmi should be dispensed by a U.S. licensed pharmacy and labeled in English with the cadet's name, medication name, strength dosage instructions, prescriber information, and pharmacy information. In most circumstances, federal guidance in the U.S. does not allow individuals to import foreign prescription medications for personal use because the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, cannot verify that foreign dispensed medications meet U.S. safety, labeling, and approval standards. So families who arrive with medication from outside the United States should contact the infirmary before they arrive and should work with a U.S. licensed medical provider or clinic to review the foreign prescription and determine whether a U.S. approved equivalent is appropriate and have the medication legally prescribed and filled through a U.S. pharmacy. Families should bring translated medical records, the original prescription, medication packaging, and provider instructions that support that process. By the way, cadets shall not share medications. They shall not be allowed to keep unauthorized medications in their rooms or alter dosage schedules without medical direction. Distribution will be documented by Nmmi personnel, especially for prescription medication, controlled medication, and medication during training or athletics, and medication associated with medical restrictions. These practices help protect our cadets' safety, reduce misuse, and preserve continuity of care.
Thank you, sir. So everybody's ready to come to an Nmmi, but what should parents do if their cadet has a health concern just before arrival?
And it happens from time to time. But parents should contact Nmmi before their arrival if a cadet has a medical condition, medication requirement, an allergy, recent injury, a mental health concern, a dietary need, physical restriction, or other medical issue that could affect their full participation in the core, academics, physical training, athletics, or residential life. Early communication allows Nmmi to determine what documentation is needed, whether additional medical clearance is appropriate, and how to coordinate support while maintaining standards of safety. Families should provide current medical forms, immunization information, medication details, provider instructions, emergency contact information, and any relevant care plans before matriculation. If the concern is urgent or could affect travel, training, or immediate participation, parents should speak directly with the appropriate Nmmi Health or Student Support Office before the cadet reports to campus.
Thank you very much, sir. Now we have a question here that will lead me to the next question to you, Colonel West. So how does the Cadet Counseling Center support cadets, including homesickness, stress, and adjustment?
Well, we're all here to support our cadets, and that's our intent, is for your success. First of all, you need to know that. You can approach anyone and we'll get you to the right person if you need to have any particular type of counseling. Sometimes you just need to have someone to talk to. But the Cadet Counseling Center, which is a formal center located at the infirmary, provides free, confidential mental health and wellness support to our Nmmi cadets. The services include counseling, life coaching, crisis response, student advocacy, spiritual counsel, preventative programming, referral support, and help connecting cadets with outside providers when needed. Cadets may seek support for concerns such as homesickness, stress, adjustment, grief, academic challenges, anxiety, depression, substance abuse concerns, or even spiritual guidance. Best practice is to normalize early in help seeking. Parents can encourage cadets to use those counseling resources proactively rather than waiting until a concern becomes a crisis. Because Nmmi serves both minors and adult post-secondary cadets, confidentiality and parent communication may vary depending on the cadet's age, their enrollment status, their consent, and health or safety circumstances. In urgent safety situations, staff may share necessary information with appropriate parties to protect the cadet and/or others.
Thank you, sir. So we know that there are some parents, especially the ones that live in different countries, concerning regards to how can they communicate or how should they communicate urgent concerns with the school?
Yes, and some of those communications have been laid out with the TLA, SLA connections already. And certainly, again, any of us, you contact any of us, we get that information. But for immediate emergencies, parents should use the emergency channels rather than routine email, for example, because it may not be checked as often. If the concern involves immediate danger, a medical emergency, or safety threat, parents should contact our emergency services. They can contact the police, but the TLA, the SLA, etc., as appropriate. For urgent non-emergency concerns, parents should contact the relevant Nmmi office directly, such as the infirmary for health concerns or cadet counseling for mental health or adjustment concerns, the commandant's chain of command as he laid out for core-related concerns, and obviously the academic offices for academic issues. Parents should provide the cadet's full name, their troop if known, a concise description of the concern, relevant dates or symptoms, what has already been tried, and best callback number. Best practices for us is to avoid sending sensitive medical information and counseling details broadly by email. Instead, we ask that the parents use designated office or secure process requested by Nmmi. Staff will route the urgent information quickly while respecting student privacy and documenting the concern and response.
Thank you, sir. Do you have any advice on how RETs can balance academics, course responsibilities, physical training or athletics, and personal time?
Well, I think it's been hit on a couple times. Managing your time. Take advantage when you have the time to do those things. Don't allow yourself to fall into a trap of wasting time. But RATs should expect, as Colonel Hopi had said, structured, demanding transition. Its success usually depends less on having large blocks of free time and more on using small blocks of time consistently. Cadets should maintain a planner, know the daily schedule, prepare their uniforms and materials the night before, complete assignments early, take advantage of those opportunities, seek academic help before falling behind. Please ask for help before you're in big trouble there. We're here again to help you and succeed. And communicate respectfully through the chain of command when conflicts arise. Parents can help by reinforcing resilience, patience, and appropriate self-advocacy. The most helpful message is that adjustment takes time. Discomfort is not the same as failure, and cadets should use the system around them. Their troop leadership advisors, cadet leadership, faculty, coaches, the infirmary, counseling staff, the chaplain, and other peers. The other cadets are here for your success as well. RATs should focus on getting sleep instead of being up texting or playing games. And when possible, they need to keep hydrated, eat properly, and ask for help early again, and avoid waiting until a minor concern becomes an academic, medical, conduct, or wellness problem.
Thank you, sir. Now, I saw some questions regarding finances and cadets accounts and all this. So, for parents who have questions about their financial status, their cadets' financial status, please contact Miss Pamela Collins at pcollins@nmmi.edu, or you can call 575-624-8086. In regards to financial aid, you can contact Ms. Monica Garcia, the Director of Financial Aid, at monica@nmmi.edu, or you can call 575-624-8065. Now, you can always send your questions and your concerns to admissions@nmmi.edu. Now, let's talk a little bit about our athletic and physical training. So let's have Colonel Barone. If you could tell us what sports are available at the high school and junior college level.
Thank you, Colonel Stark. So we have 16 interscholastic or high school sports and 6 intercollegiate sports. I encourage everybody to get familiar with our website. That's going to be on your screen in a second or on the chat, nmmi.edu, nmmiathletics.com. That has a full listing of all our coaches and all our sports. But we have most of the typical sports everybody does. First up, for those incoming cadets, we obviously have football, soccer, and volleyball right off the bat at the beginning of the year. So basically 16 sports high school, 6 for the junior college. nmmiathletics.com for the full list.
Okay, thank you, sir. I have a question here for you. So how does sports and academics schedule work?
It's a good question. So as it's been mentioned by several of my colleagues before, it takes a lot of time management, but the cadet day is built in such a way that there are times to do everything from academics to core training to athletics. There was a dedicated block of time, both during the RAT cycle and throughout the academic year, that allows you to do practices in the afternoons and early evenings. And then when it comes to actual games and away and home, then there are ways that cadets can get excused from classes and to participate in their athletic events. So we have very close coordination with the academic side and the commandant side to make sure that we maximize the time available for all 3 of our important missions.
Thank you, sir. I have another question for you. So what are the athletic and physical fitness expectations for cadets?
So another good question. We'll start with a base level. So every cadet is expected to have some form of basic physical fitness when they arrive. There will be a physical fitness test within the first couple of days, and every cadet, whether you're an athlete or in any other program, will do the same test as a diagnostic at the beginning, and they'll have to meet certain benchmarks as the year goes on. For those that are on par and not in a sport, they'll participate in the core PT program. That's a 3-day-a-week program that is managed and implemented by the same strength coaches that work with our college athletes. Those that need a little extra help, there's some extra help there available to get them up to the base level or the base standard of a 70% in the physical fitness test. For our athletes, hopefully, well, not hopefully, I would imagine that, or actually, let me change that. I expect that our coaches have contacted all intercollegiate athletes and sent them a summer program that will allow them to get here at the level we would expect at the very beginning. For high school athletes, hopefully you've been training and doing things to keep active to get ready for the sport. There is a gradual start, particularly for our interscholastic or high school athletes. We're not just going to get out there 100% on day one, but we will have a ramped phase to get everybody in shape. My suggestion is that you start getting in shape right now so that we can have better gains once you arrive.
Thank you, sir. I have a question here. what should incoming Bronc football or volleyball cadets know about arrival timing and communication?
So I know for certain, I've met with both coaches, they have given a specific date and time for the arrival. Don't deviate from that. Whatever your head coach has told you for the arrival time for our new cadets, that is pretty much the same matriculation as all the other cadets. If for some reason you needed something different, your coach has already contacted you and been in contact with the rest of the campus to allow you to arrive perhaps a different time. But it is this year, unlike some other years, it is the identical date to the rest of the matriculating cohort, whether you're international or domestic.
Thank you, sir. So, how do tryouts work? Who makes the team and who doesn't?
Break that into two different segments. We'll talk about our high school sports first. So, in our high school level, we have what we consider a no cut policy. What that means is that if you commit to a sport and you follow the rules of that sport and you go to practice and do the best you can to be a better athlete, then we will keep you on the team. It doesn't necessarily guarantee playing time, guarantee anything, except you will remain a part of that team. So, unlike many other schools, we don't cut our cadets from teams. We try to develop them to get better. Again, that doesn't mean always suiting up, but it means maintaining you as part of the program. So that's one. Two is if you follow the rules and do that, our coaches will work together to maximize what it is we do. Perhaps one sport may not be what's best for you, and our coaches will work to find what may be a better fit for you. If we move on to the college side, there are not open tryouts as you might expect. However, if you believe you're an intercollegiate athlete and you want to participate, I suggest you contact our coaches immediately. Again, all of our coaches are available on the website that'll be in the chat here in just a second, www.nmmiathletics.com, and it'll be in the chat here in a second. And look for a list of coaches. Contact the appropriate head coach, and they will tell you what you need to do to have an initial tryout. Most of our college athletes are recruited athletes. That doesn't mean that we won't allow somebody to give it a shot, as long as it's going to be safe and it's going to be a sport that you were not putting yourself at risk for attempting for the very first time, let's say.
Thank you, sir. Now I have another question for you. Do cadets need to bring their own gears?
That's again an excellent question. So by and large, we provide what is needed for a sport, with the single exception of footwear. Some sports will provide specific footwear, but if you are coming in as a new cadet, I recommend you bring the appropriate footwear for the sport you are going to play. Specialty things like gloves for baseball, you need to bring your own. Bats, we provide. We provide all of the basic things like pads and safety equipment and uniforms and practice gear. So if you want something different, special, or customized, then you need to bring that with you. Other than that, we provide the most essential elements of any sport.
Okay. Sir, I have a question here for you from the chat. My son signed up for baseball but hasn't heard from the coach yet. Should he reach out to the coach?
So yes, again, we got to make sure we're reaching out to the correct coach. We have a high school and a college team. So your son is in high school. If your son is in high school, I recommend that they reach out to the athletic admin. Our coaches, our high school coaches, aren't always working during the summer. So athletic admin at nmmi.edu, and one of us will get back to you with instructions. If it's college, certainly email Coach Cook at nmmi.edu, and they'll get back to you shortly. I would imagine this is high school, and we'll make sure we get you an answer.
Okay, sir, another one. When and how will you be able to sign up or join high school sports?
So at on matriculation day, we will have a table with the majority of particularly our fall sports coaches, and some of the others will be there as well. So at that time, we will double check the paperwork, and those coaches will be available to chat with families and with cadets about the sports they may want to play. And at that time, they will tell you when the first practices or meetings will be for those particular sports.
Okay, so two other questions for you, sir. Should I bring my own soccer and volleyball shoes and equipment?
So by shoes, absolutely yes. Equipment, that depends on what you mean. Don't bring your goal because it probably won't fit in your car. But if you have a ball you like to practice with, that's fine. We have plenty of soccer balls here. If you're a goalie and want specialized equipment, we have the pads, we have the gloves and whatnot. But if you have your own, it's okay to bring it. Shin guards, bring your own shin guards as well. We consider that footwear.
And now we have a question regarding golf clubs. Should I bring my own?
Yes, if you are planning to participate in golf, you need to bring your golf clubs. Those will be stored for you until it's time to golf. Let me revise my answer. If you are from the immediate area and can wait until a later date, for example, Parents' Weekend or some other time to bring them, then I would recommend you do that. There will not be any golf practices for the first say 30 to 40 days of the semester. So if you can wait, bring them later. It'll be less to manage on that first day. If you're from far away and aren't planning a trip, then by all means go ahead and bring the golf clubs. It's better to have them here because there will be for both high school and college, there will be some fall golf this year.
Thank you, sir. Colonel Barone, what are the top 3 things incoming cadets should do this week to be ready for NMMI?
So very important to make sure that you at least have some kind of physical fitness and physical level. If you have not been working out or doing anything, I recommend you get out there and start to progressively do more and more. If you, for example, when you do your initial PT test, you'll need to run a mile. So I would recommend that you phase yourself so that you're able to complete a mile for your initial diagnostic test. You'll have to do a minute of push-ups and a minute of sit-ups. So if you've not been doing any of that, then I recommend you start working on that. If you haven't been doing it, make sure you start slowly and build yourself up. But the important thing is you start doing something. The other thing, not only for in the next week or so, but as you prepare to come here, make sure your nutrition and your hydration status is up to par. Drink plenty of water, especially in the few days before you arrive here. You'll need to be well hydrated. There's a lot of physical activity outside of athletics and PT, even just doing marching and drill and other things, just walking around campus. It's been relatively hot here, so hydration and proper nutrition is important, and get plenty of rest. Get in a habit of going to bed earlier than you might be used to, so that you can get used to the daily routine of getting up early, doing a lot of hard work, working throughout the day, and then going to bed and getting plenty of rest overnight. Those are probably the 3 best pieces of advice I can give somebody that's joining us this year.
Thank you, sir. I would like to remind all international cadets to share their arrival information, including flight, dates, and time, to Ms. Mireya Tarin. Her email is mtarin, TARIN, @nmmi.edu. Please contact your global enrollment advisor on pending documentation and arrival time. So I would like now to ask a question to each one of our participants tonight. So Colonel West, what advice would you give incoming cadets who are nervous about arriving, making friends, and stepping into a military school environment?
Yes, Colonel Stark. It's been amazing over 20 years to witness what happens. I remember wide eyes and excitement, trepidation, anxiousness, nervousness, first day, first evening, first time away from the family, etc. To watch a young person blossom into the unique leadership that NMMI provides, that makes them successful in the things they'll never forget and take away for the rest of their lives. I've talked to very elderly alums who never forget their rat buddy, because they both went through fire together. But what's been said here today, listen, just pay attention. It's not that hard. And remember, we're here for your success. Ask when you need help, and you'll do just fine. NMI is a wonderful school. Man, what a great time to be you. What a great time to be you and be able to come here and participate in this environment. That would be my advice.
Thank you, sir. Lieutenant Colonel Hugby, what about you? What advice would you give to our incoming families and cadets?
I would encourage the cadets to keep their use their senses appropriately. We got 2 eyes, 2 ears, so keep their eyes open, keep their ears open. Pay attention to the instructions. Do your best to maintain a positive attitude, uh, and be prepared. Be prepared to learn and experience things that you haven't before. Uh, some of the best experiences may seem scary at first, but when you after you go through it, uh, it's you look back and like Colonel West has mentioned, with very fun memories. Yes, you're going to be nervous. Yes, some things are going to be uncomfortable. Yes, some things are going to make you uncomfortable. But going through those things will definitely help develop and shape you in the future. And again, you'll look back with fond memories about those things.
Thank you, sir. Major Gomez, what about you? As a mother and as an academic advisor, what would you say to a new coming to NMI?
I would encourage you to seek help the moment you feel like you need help. Don't wait till it's too late. But the biggest thing is get involved. Join a sport, join a club, make those connections. As Colonel West and Lieutenant Colonel Hovey stated, those connections are going to be your support someday. You're going to look back and laugh at some of the things, but also challenge yourself. Um, you know, you came to NMMI, you're choosing NMMI. Take the challenges as a learning opportunity. Don't doubt yourself, but most importantly, seek help. Find the people that are willing to help you.
Thank you. Miss Monica Renteria, what advice do you have for incoming cadets who want to succeed in the Corps?
I would advise for them, like everybody said, advocate for yourself. If you're struggling, say something. Everybody's here to help you. We want to help you, but we don't know if you're struggling unless you say something. And to keep an open mind, as Hugby said, Lieutenant Colonel Hugby said, you're going to be in uncomfortable situations. It's going to be outside your comfort zone, but that's when you're going to grow the most. You're going to get a lot out of NMMI if you put it out there for yourself.
Thank you, ma'am. Colonel Baron, what about your advice?
So I would say to come to NMMI with an open mind and understand that everybody at NMMI is here for your success, whether it's the commandant, whether it's the folks that are fixing the parade fields for us, whether whoever it is, our mission is you, the cadet. Our mission is to make you successful and to help you make a better version of yourself by the time you leave here, whether it's after 1, 2, 3, 4, or even 6 years. Give it a chance, work as hard as you can, and always keep that next goal in mind, because I promise you, when you get here, even if you have doubts in your mind, you will surpass your goals and you will set new goals. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, sir. Well, I would like to thank everyone who joined us tonight. I understand that choosing an MMI Institute is a significant step for cadets and families, and we are honored to be part of your next chapter. As an MMI marks its 135th anniversary, we're especially proud to welcome incoming cadets into a tradition that continues to grow with each new class. Please contact your global enrollment counselor if you have any questions. We are here to assist you. If you know of any other incoming family that was not able to attend, there will be the recording will remain available so you can watch it again and prepare for your arrival. We look forward to welcoming you to campus very soon and to seeing how this next class helps carry NMMI into its 135th year and beyond. Until then, duty, honor, achievement. Good night.